Oh my god, it's gonna make me cry. Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay. I am a romance writer, lover and general enthusiast, and on the channel I'm taking a deep dive into all things romantic comedies, and today I'm going to be watching the brand new movie on Netflix, which is Look Both Ways. I am so excited for this movie because it covers one of my favourite sort of just philosophical concepts of all time, which is how your life can change and veer in completely different ways just from making one single choice differently. I am obsessed with this concept. I literally think about it every single day of my life. I just find it so fascinating. It's kind of terrifying, but also just really beautiful and amazing. I think it adds so much romanticism and excitement to life. I just love the concept of meeting your best friend or meeting your soulmate can hang in the balance of one little decision either of you make, even that someone else completely third party makes. I just love it so much. One of my favourite reads over recent years was The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and to me that book is just encapsulates the whole concept and question of that so well. And yeah, I just love everything to do with it. I could talk about it for hours. I feel like I could write a book on it. I've actually always wanted to write a book centering the plot around someone can go back and make a decision differently in their life, but I don't think I could do it as well as I've seen it in other places, so maybe one day. But for now, I'm just gonna get straight in and enjoy this movie because I've been wanting to watch it all week. If you are new, remember to subscribe, like and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm, and let's just get straight into it. Oh, please don't let me down. Please don't let me down.
Are you ready?
No.
Are you ready?
No.
I don't know. Am I?
You're gonna do it?
Yeah.
It's a 5-year plan.
Because if you fail to plan, you
plan to fail.
That's exactly correct.
Live, love, laugh.
It's live, laugh, love. We've talked
Live,
about.
laugh, love.
So what do you suggest we do to harness this present moment?
Bang.
That's
You're
not
gonna
true.
get pregnant or
Gabe.
not pregnant.
Nah.
They're the two lives.
Did it?
I'm interested to see how they're going to flip between the two lives throughout this. The only other movie I've kind of seen with this concept is Sliding Doors. And it's kind of really clear in that because in one of the lives she has long brown hair and then the other one she cuts it off and dyes it blonde. So there's like a real clear distinction. I'm so glad I've never had a pregnancy scare.
What does it say? Oh God. We're good. I was really scared there for a second. Could you imagine? No.
I guess this actually doesn't kind of play off a decision you make in life because it's not her decision to fall pregnant or not. That's just chance, really.
I don't know what to do. It's okay. What do I do?
That's a great shot of the two scenarios.
You not one more time.
I feel like this is kind of extra prominent in the whole recent turn of events in America. Roe versus Wade.
This should be your choice. It is your choice.
It is your choice. It should be every woman's choice.
And I support you with whatever you choose.
Good man. Better than the men in the Supreme Court.
I'm pro your choice.
Love him. Love him.
Thank you.
I mean it. I mean it.
I know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it feels like this is something that I have to do.
And you know what? She's going to have that baby, but it was her choice to have that baby. She didn't have to have that baby.
Okay.
Oh my god, this movie's going to have me crying the entire way through, isn't it? 5-year plan. Has anyone's 5-year plan ever gone the way they thought it would go?
Hey, hi, Gabe.
Hey, it's great to see
I'm
you.
pregnant.
Straight in. Oh, it's Luke Wilson.
What about your goals? What about moving to LA?
I mean,
what
you
about
just got your degree, Natty. That's everything you'd worked towards since you were a little girl.
what did you study again, Gabe?
History.
History is a hilarious degree to me, because what do you do with history unless you're going to be a historian or a history teacher? People don't really use history degrees, do they, very much?
He'd give up on some of it.
I don't know, I'm kind of with the parents' argument on this one. It's hard as well, because I do think that, like, coming out of graduating in your 20s, if you've got these ambitious dreams, you should have the opportunity to go and chase them. But I respect that it's their decision to have the baby. My personal views are more on that of the parents, and I personally would rather feel established and that I've achieved most of what I would have liked to achieve, got a lot of things out of my system, be more financially stable before I had a child. But I also don't think it's wrong to do it the other way around. It's just whatever works personally for someone.
Feelings right now, okay? Your mother and I, in particular.
Luke Wilson's aged pretty well, hasn't he? He's a bit of a dilf.
Let's get married.
Get up! That's not happening.
Yeah, what's a wedding gonna help with?
You want to marry someone that you're in love with. I know you do, right? Obviously. Right?
So are they gonna, I'm assuming, gonna fall in love? But I wonder if her life is gonna play on that whole fate and destiny, and in both scenarios she's still gonna end up with the same person? Or is it gonna be that she has completely different independent love lives? It's crazy to me how stark contrast different parts of LA are. When I went to LA, we got the Greyhound in and we got dropped off on Skid Row, and I've never been so scared in my entire life. I was like, this cannot be LA. This cannot be the LA I see in movies.
None of these jobs pay. Literally none of them. How is anyone supposed to make money? You just have to be rich to be an artist, apparently?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is America.
Capitalism at its finest.
You have to apply. This is his work.
I don't have the qualifications, dude.
I guarantee you there are 20 way less qualified men that are going to apply.
Oh my God, so true. There's literally like studies on this where it's like the psychology of women and how you're raised in society. So if there's a job application and there's like 6 things that you have to have, and say a woman didn't have 2 or 3, a woman's more likely to be like, oh, I can't apply for that because I'm not qualified. Whereas a man with exactly the same qualifications is more likely to look at that job and be like, whoa, I've got most of those qualifications, so I can apply.
Fuck the patriarchy.
See, that confused me initially, because I was like, why is her mum suddenly there? We switched lives. I'm going to need her to dye her hair ginger or something.
Okay. Get some rest. You look great, okay?
I'm obsessed with Luke Wilson in this movie. She looks amazing. Hey, Venice Beach. I stayed just around the corner from there.
Oh, you don't have to buy me a drink.
I wasn't buying you a drink. I was just introducing you to Hayden.
Oh. Can I just get tequila? Cheapest is fine.
Tequila? The fuck? Get a real drink. Or at least get tequila something. Tequila soda or Paloma or something.
Are you supposed to be in that event?
He's very good looking.
So you're stalking a potential employer?
No.
That's a bold move.
No.
I'm impressed. What's your play there? I'm Jake, by the way.
Thank you. Natalie.
Natalie.
I love the names Jake and Natalie. Both used to be my baby names.
We're here. At least steal some food.
I'm not gonna steal food. What do they have?
This is a great meet cute. I'm really enjoying that meet cute. Love it.
The dream for both of us. I found someone to take your room, which is cool.
So before we started this movie, I said, your life can be completely affected, not even by a decision you make, but by the choice someone else you don't even know makes. So the fact that she lives with another girl, her getting pregnant is actually going to affect the life of this girl who moved in instead in some way, because maybe she'll meet someone else because of the fact she made friends with and lived with this other person. I just love it. I just love the whole ambiguity of life and how any little decision, just the butterfly effect, really. Love it. Love it.
Yesterday, I just basically ate crackers and took 3 naps and then threw up for
the rest of the day.
I'm sure it'll get better. Hey, have you been drawing much?
Oh my god. That's some great acting, Lily. I've always had the worst luck with job interviews, and I feel like this would never happen in my life.
Hi. I found your resume and I had Hannah put it at the top of the pile.
Jake,
Oh.
You remember. It's
Oh.
you work here.
Oh, look at those dimples.
2D and 3D.
Damn, he's really wearing that shirt. Why am I so thirsty for this guy?
Here you go.
So at the minute, they're definitely kind of leaning into her life's worse in getting pregnant and better going to LA. But I feel like it's probably going to switch. At one point, she's probably going to have a really happy life with the baby, and maybe everything will go to shit in LA.
We're gonna screw it
Of course
up.
we're gonna screw this up. That's unavoidable, but... Well, your parents screwed you up, right?
The concept of having a baby is so terrifying because, yeah, it's that whole thing of how do you not give them trauma so that they're like fucked up for the rest of their lives, but you give them enough trauma so that they're like funny. Oh, it's so teeny. That really does look like a fresh out the womb baby.
Do you have any kids experience by chance?
No.
Doesn't matter.
That would be so hard. At that age, when you have such ambitions for your life, I feel like you definitely get postnatal depression.
I want you to know that this is normal. There's this thing that happens when you get pregnant. No one talks about this. But you mourn a little bit. How much you want to be a mom, you're never not going to be one again. But Dad and I are there for you, no matter what.
Oh, she's got great parents.
Love everything about you at every age.
Really?
Yeah.
Prove it.
Okay. And you guys
Her parents are absolute just relationship goals.
I just feel like I don't have a life anymore.
Ugh.
I don't do anything. I feel like
This is gonna be the toughest thing you ever do in life.
Oh, it's falling. It's falling.
And you look beautiful, like you always do.
I see myself in one just above Sunset.
House in the Hills, classic. 50, 60 employees, you know, 4-bedroom apartment directly above it. My friend once described me as a blueberry muffin, so I need something sort of in keeping with... I just made that up.
I love that.
I just realised that I'm not talking and I'm just sitting here staring at the screen watching. So let me make a comment. I'm really enjoying the chemistry here between Natalie and Jake. I really connect with relationships in movies and in books when there's just dialogue, like too much dialogue. When I come up with plots and I imagine writing a story, the first thing that always comes to me is dialogue. I always imagine conversations first. So I just love long scenes of people talking, which I think a lot of people might find boring. It's like the Before Sunrise, the Before series. They're just movies of people for an hour and a half walking around talking in real time. And like that concept sounds crazy. That concept should be so super boring, but it's just not. You get to see people actually get to know each other and fall in love, and I just love it. So I'm feeling very happy watching this scene. And he's staring at us so intensely in the eyes. Oh. Big fan of that.
You get what you mean it, like it's gonna.
Oh, okay. He went in there for the kill. I'm surprised it took these two that long to get together. I feel like the emotional connection of the baby would have made this happen a lot sooner.
So,
He's not got many buttons done up on his shirt, does he?
I can barely keep my head above water as it is, and the idea of moving and not having...
I think it would be a really scary concept because it'd be very easy for them to go out with each other, probably fall in love, and maybe spend the rest of their lives together. Like maybe they would be happy forever or for at least a very, very long time together. But I think in that situation where you're kind of getting together because you have a child together, there'd always be that kind of question in the back of your mind of, would this have happened otherwise? And do I just feel like this because of the baby? If you had any doubt, you'd feel quite trapped maybe because, yeah, you wouldn't want it to affect the life of your child. You'd rather be on great terms platonically than the child have like separated parents that maybe end on bad terms. I just think this would be a really, really difficult situation to be in, to know what's right.
What if it works well? What if it works amazing? You know, like what if
They're
that?
both right though.
What if Ro gets to be with
What
both
if
of
it's
her
amazing
parents?
and she gets both of her
Together.
parents together?
I'm scared. Night owl.
Oh, a
And
little
Dave does this
smile.
voice there where he makes her say...
Oh, she's adorable.
And I screwed up.
I think that's Miranda, his new lady.
Good for him.
I know.
I just didn't know that Miranda was going to be here today.
Well, if it wasn't for you telling me to get out there and start dating again, I wouldn't have met her. So.
Well, then you're welcome.
We got the funding for the Sable Island project.
Yeah, okay, something's coming.
So I'm gonna have to go to Nova Scotia.
This is so great for you. We'll make it work. I'm not worried about it.
I can't wait to see how this film ends and like what the conclusion is going to be. Is it just going to be that she's happy in both separate lives and she's in love with different people? Or is it going to be that she finds her way to the same person at the end of both lives?
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, of course.
Be right
I hope she, just for the poetry, like bumps into Jake. Yes.
So sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yes.
They're old. It's fine.
Oh my god, it's going to make me cry.
Well, then, you know, they're actually vintage and priceless,
Yeah,
and I love
that's what I
them
thought.
a lot.
And
So.
I deeply apologize, and I owe you a run.
Oh hey, as you can probably tell, it's a different day. It's actually the next day, guys. Last night when I was watching, my camera cut out and I didn't actually notice for about 20 minutes after. So I continued watching the movie and then a little while later checked the camera and it had stopped recording. I then tried to keep filming and rewatch, but my camera just kept cutting out. I'm not really sure what happened and I just couldn't continue filming last night. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to stop and watch the end of the movie tomorrow night instead. So that's what I'm doing. So obviously the next segment of the movie I watched last night before I realised my camera had stopped recording, but I'll let you guys know as soon as I'm into the new stuff again. Okay, so where I cut off last night was I'd started crying because in the alternate universe, Natalie and Jake had just met. The reason it made me so emotional, I think, is because I just love the idea that you can have so many serendipitous moments and run-ins with someone and be completely unaware, you know. You could sit next to like your future partner on a bus and neither of you would ever realise because it's such an insignificant moment at the time. Or like that moment in Serendipity, the movie, where he puts his gum on a seat and then like 2 days later she puts her finger in the gum. Like, if that happened in real life, you would never know about it. Or there, she can have a quick conversation with someone in a restaurant and in another life, that person's her boyfriend. I just love that idea.
Maybe get some brunch before we go
I
to
think
the
I
beach?
have to go. Home. I think I have to go home.
You just got here.
No, I know. Rosie just called me.
Yeah, I really like this scene as well because I feel like it perfectly shows how people can grow apart when they start to lead different lives. That's what happens in real life.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But it feels a little derivative. Actually a lot derivative. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have any help.
I didn't have any help. Okay, well, good for you. Congratulations that you still managed to do so well without a mentor or any help. But as someone who didn't have any help and didn't have a mentor, would you not want to therefore help the next generation and be their mentor? Like the look on her face, she looks like she thinks she's just bestowed such wisdom, when really she was just really offensive.
But she basically told me that all my work was unoriginal, uninspired, and that I was copying other artists.
I'll call Jenny. She
No,
had some leads for me.
please don't call Jenny. I don't want you to help.
Yeah, I've been in that situation before where you just want to vent, and when your partner tries to like solve the issues, and sometimes you don't need them to try and solve your issues, sometimes you just need them to be an ear.
I wish you would want to include me in your plan.
Nat, I'm here on the phone with you. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I really hate this breakup. Like, I feel like this is the kind of breakup that would happen, but it's a certain period of time they're going to have a long distance relationship. And yeah, I'm not sure what more he could do. I understand why she's upset, but I don't know what he could do. It's not like he's not answering the phone and not talking to her.
Alright, well, if you feel like it's not working, then it's not working. I'm sorry.
You left our daughter alone with someone that I don't know.
Yeah, well, I proposed to Miranda.
I will say I started crying here the first
That's
time
what happened. That's what's
I watched it.
Just some willy-nilly plan. Just propose.
Yeah, she definitely overreacted. I understand why she'd be freaking out. My first instinct wouldn't be to get on a plane. My first instinct would be to keep ringing him and to ring my parents and ask my parents to go and pick her up. Like, I refuse to believe that she flew home quicker than he answered his phone. I love her parents in this. Such good parents. I love that as well. It's like same day, same weather. She's going back on a low. I like that the parallel universes now are kind of dipping and maybe rising at the same time. Because at the beginning it was like one life was better than the other, and now they've kind of plateaued and she's at a low at the same time in both lives. It's interesting as well, because I think in this universe it's not like she's heartbroken that he's engaged, it's just more jealousy and, oh, well, I've just broken up with my boyfriend, he's getting married. Yeah, I love now how both lives are like paralleling each other.
You're so kind, thank you.
Thanks.
I'm quite interested to see, because they make Miranda, his fiancée, like a nice person. So it'll be interesting to see if he does leave her for her, or whether just maybe the ending will just be in both lives she's happy by herself as a single woman, and that would also be an amazing ending, I think.
Congratulations, your animated short Indigo has been selected for the New Voices competition of the South by Southwest Film Festival.
Love you.
I have something to show you.
Okay.
Okay, this is where I realised that the camera had cut off last time. Speaking of, let's check the camera. Good, still recording. Okay, so everything here on out is new.
I was asked to be on a panel at South by Southwest.
Okay, so in one world she's on a panel, and in the other she's nominated for an award, but it's at the same event.
I would love to see you play again.
I'm really unsure as to how it's going to end. There's three ways it's going to end. Either in all scenarios she's going to be with the same person, like she's going to end up with Gabe in both scenarios, or she'll end up with Jake and Gabe respectively, or she'll end up with no one. She's going to be at the same event in both worlds.
Should I shave my hair off? You like it? I love it!
Oh no, she's got the same haircut again in both. Or is it swapped? So now is the baby world got long hair now, and the the LA world has short hair now? Oh, this is going to confuse me now. I'm not going to be able to tell which one's which. Okay, so this is LA Natalie now. Is it? I can't tell anymore. Which one's which now? Right, I don't know which one's which. I don't know which one's which anymore.
Night owl was inspired by your daughter's
Okay, this will tell me.
bedtime routine.
Okay, long hair is baby now, and short hair is LA now.
Anyways, her dad and I
Oh.
would joke that she must be having anxiety about all the things she had to do.
She's next to that woman. Oh my god, she's going to get offered a job by that woman in the different life.
Gates, old man?
Yeah. Oh my god. Let's go in.
Holy shit, it's been what, 5 years?
Yeah.
Married.
No.
Yeah. We're pregnant.
No.
Yeah.
You are.
This is crazy.
I have to tell you something.
Oh, is she going to tell him?
I took a pregnancy test that night. You're gonna be such a good dad.
Oh, I love it when little kids have like those industrial headphones on.
Where's Miranda? Is she gonna... I thought she was gonna be here.
We ended things. It was rough for a couple weeks, obviously, but
For a couple of weeks, is that it? I wish I could just be
this wasn't you.
bad. Oh. Okay.
You're not using
Jade.
extra ticket, maybe that you know.
Jake!
Hi.
God, he's so good looking.
Wow, you look. It's sold out. That's tremendous. Well done.
Tremendous.
Came here.
It's a word I never use.
1 or 2 angry voicemails I think I'm gonna have when I turn my phone back on. I gotta do what I gotta do.
And I have been so stupidly in love with you this whole time.
I like that. So both lives are just working out.
Thank God you haven't, because that's another.
You're doing
Oh, that's an amazing shot where they're both in the same shot. To me, it kind of makes sense for the pregnant one to go back in because that was a really pivotal moment in her life, but to the other Natalie, surely it's not that pivotal to come back in this bathroom. Oh, I love this shot. Oh. Okay. So look both ways. Let's talk about it. Yeah, so despite having to watch that over the course of 2 nights, I loved that movie. It was everything I was expecting it to be and I was hoping it would be. It hit all the right sort of philosophical questions for me that I really resonate with. I love the way they did the ending. Like I say, there's 3 kind of ways I think they could have ended it. Either the same person she ended up with in both lives almost would have been sort of a commentary on destiny and fate. They could have done it exactly how they did it here, where she was just happy and perfectly in love with different people. And they also could have done it where, I don't know, maybe the lives connected again and she had the same job or something and she was single. But I love how they did it. I love the sort of message that no matter where life takes you, you can always make it good and you can always make the best of your circumstance, and there's more than one person out there for everyone. Yeah, I mean, this movie is defined on Netflix as like a romantic comedy and a romance movie, which I guess it kind of is, but not in the way a normal rom-com I think would be. It's more of a, I don't really know, but to me the romance was a little bit more the subplot. The main plot was more her life, her decisions, which was another thing that I love. I love just stories about women living their lives and succeeding and being empowered. So all in all, absolutely love that movie. I just love the whole concept of your life can go in so many different ways. I love the concept of destiny, how people can intersect at different moments. It's just great. I think this is going to be a movie that I'll definitely rewatch a few times. I feel like it is a real feel-good film. It clearly really affected me emotionally because I cried at multiple occasions. And yeah, really loved everything about that movie. Gonna be angry if anyone hated it. I thought Lily, I don't really know fully how to pronounce her surname. Lily Reinhardt. Lily Blank. Yeah, she did so well in this. I think her acting was really good in this. She really evoked emotion well. 10 out of 10. I want to see more movies that tackle this plot. In terms of like more of a light sort of chick flick movie, you know, you can look at things like The Butterfly Effect and like, oh, what's the name of that movie franchise? Final Destination? That sounds wrong in my mouth. But, you know, there's kind of like a lot of action films, I think, that cover the concept of the butterfly effect and one change can affect things. But I want to see it more done in just less the world's gonna end, more the different paths that people's lives can go on. I mentioned the Midnight Library earlier, and I'm pretty sure they're in the process of trying to make that into a movie, but I expect it's going to be a good few years at least before we see that in movie. I'm hoping that that comes out one day and it is done justice, because that's another example of a really good way of showing that whole concept. But yeah, I am going to leave it for now, guys, because I'm scared that my camera's going to cut out again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. If you do want to follow me along on my rom-com deep dive journey, then please do stick around for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!